listen up. This is the Music Scene Podcast. I am your host, Dave Cudrak. Today on the show, we've got Jeremy Millado and John Marz. A lot of you know Jeremy as one of the hosts for the open mic at Red, White, and Brew. And John is a friend of Jeremy's. They go way back. He's recently been on the open mic scene. We talked a lot about music, and then we also talked a lot about life in general, right? So I think you guys are going to enjoy this episode. We really get to know these guys. Jeremy talks a little about his struggles that he had when his dad passed away during COVID. And John talks about his experiences with Jiu Jitsu, and there's also a couple of funny stories from when he was a bouncer back in the day. So it's a great conversation. I hope you guys enjoy it. A couple of updates. Jersey Calling, I believe they were episode 4 of the Music Scene Podcast. They're trying to get on to the Warped Tour. There's a show in Washington, D.C., and there's a contest online where you can vote for Jersey Calling. The website for that is battleofthebands.com/campaign/Ernie Ball Vans Warped Tour 2025. And on there, you can go and find where to vote for Jersey Calling. You can vote once every 24 hours. So make sure you do that. It would really help Jersey Calling out. And it also helps the music scene here in South Jersey, right? They are a local band. And the more popular they get, the more popular this scene gets, this South Jersey music scene. So we all kind of rise with the tide. So make sure you jump aboard and let's do this thing. Good luck to Jersey Calling. I've got a lot of interviews lined up, over the next couple of months. So plenty of great musicians coming, plenty of great original music coming. So if you're not already following the show or subscribing to the show on whichever platform that you listen to it, again, it's available everywhere, whether it's Apple Podcast or Spotify or iHeartRadio. I also put them on YouTube as well. I know a lot of you guys watch them on YouTube. I apologize. I'm a little bit behind on getting the shows up on YouTube because I've had so many interviews lately. I just haven't been able to keep up with it. I release them on all the regular streaming platforms first, and then shortly after, I try to get the episodes up on YouTube. It does take a long time for those episodes to upload to YouTube because the files are so big, but they'll get there. So please be patient. I appreciate your patience and your dedication, and I appreciate you guys, listening and all of your support. Thank you very much. I think that's going to do it for me. I'm going to see you guys on the next episode, but right now, here is my conversation with Jeremy and John.
Your sweaty balls.
That's going to be the opening line to the episode because we've been recording for 5 minutes.
Nice. No one made that reference yet?
Not yet, believe it or not. Nope, not yet. That's good stuff. All right, so we're here with Jeremy. How do you pronounce your last name, Jeremy?
It's Millado.
Millado. That's what I thought, but I didn't want to pronounce it wrong. And then John Marz. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's not Marz or anything. It's just Marz. Okay, cool. All right. So, a lot of you guys out there know Jeremy from the Red, White, and Brew open mic, and then just Reseda bands in general. And John, I don't think we've met face to face before. I know you've been to the Red, White, and Brew open mic, so welcome both you guys. Thank you very much for doing the podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, man. Jeremy, give me an idea of kind of like where you started with your musical journey. I know you've got a lot going on.
Oh, yeah.
You've got the whole luau thing and everything, so I'd like to dig into kind of all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, I'm originally from California. Mm-hmm. Born and raised. I went to high school, graduated in 2000. Then in high school, I was in marching band. Mm-hmm. I played trumpet, trombone, tuba. And ironically, I actually, when I started in high school, I wanted to play football instead of marching band. Back then, I was way better shape. Way better shape. But I was really interested in the drums. I wanted to be part of the drum line. but I missed the deadline to sign up for drumline. So I figured, let me just try out band, see how it goes for 1 year. And I loved it. But one of my good friends, he wanted to start a band. And everyone, knew how to play drums or play guitar.
Right.
No bass players at all. So his name's Anthony Fisher. He was like, Jeremy, you want to play bass? Like, sure. So one of our friends had a dad who plays bass, and they always brought his bass down to the band room, and we would just like jam out some Nirvana, Metallica,
nice,
Bush, and we're just we're like, hey, you should get your own bass. Like, maybe I should.
And a star was born.
Yeah. So I talked to my dad one day, and he knew that I was interested to play guitar, but mainly bass. So one day he took me to Guitar Center after school.
Out in California?
Out in California. And he got me my first Fender jazz bass.
Oh, nice.
With a combo amp that came with it.
Yep.
It was great. I still have it. It's actually still in California.
Oh, nice.
So ever since then, I picked up the bass and played in jazz band, played in the orchestra, played in the musicals.
Nice.
Played at church.
Okay.
So I was like known as that bass player dude.
Okay. So bass became like your primary instrument
much,
at that
yeah.
time. Okay, cool. How about you, John? I know that you
still are the bass player dude.
How about you? Where'd you start?
I guess I started playing the guitar around 14. I was always really into music.
Yeah. What made you decide to say, hey, I want to try playing guitar?
Green Day was my favorite band. The Nimrod album, just listened to it over and over. And just some reason I was just started thinking about the guitar. I'm like, man, that would be so cool to play that,
Right.
So I was like, oh, I want a guitar. And I asked for a guitar. I got a Harmony guitar for
nice.
one of like the Fender kind of looking
Like
for
Strat
Christmas.
style.
Yeah. And I got real into I just played it constantly. Around that time, I didn't have too many friends. I didn't have anything to do. I still don't really have any friends, but so I would just play. I remember the one summer just playing every day from the time I woke up to the time I went to bed. And I got real good in a short period of time, and then I wanted like a real guitar. I remember my dad got me a Gibson Les Paul.
Oh wow!
Off of eBay when eBay was like a new thing, and he was worried that he got ripped off or something like that. And he was like staying up all night trying to bid on it.
So Jeremy, so once you kind of became the bass player dude, did you immediately start kind of like jamming with friends, and were you in a band and stuff?
Yeah. So after high school, I went to college and took some classes.
What college did you go to?
I went to this community college in California called Pierce College. I didn't know what to major in, so I was really good in architecture in high school. Okay. So I figured, let me major in architecture. So one of my first architecture classes, I came across one of this, also another good friend. His name's Shant. Okay. And he's Armenian, and he was like, he knew that I play bass because like I was just talking about music, but he started talking about System of a Down, and I'm like, yeah, I love System of a Down. I love Tool. Love Nine Inch Nails, and so we got along. And then he told me that he's in the band, this Armenian band called, at the time it was called In Progress. Okay. They wrote their own stuff, and they sang Armenian music too. Yep. And then their bass player had to go to college, and they needed someone to finish recording on their album. So I had to learn their music, which was in English at the time. Okay. And then I finished covering the recording half the album. Like half the album's the original bass player, the other half is me. Okay. I probably did like maybe 3 or 4 tracks. Everything else is them. Then we changed the name to our Element Band. Okay. They named it after my car because at the time I drove a Honda Element. Remember my Honda Element? Yeah. So we started playing all these Armenian songs, and they had a huge Armenian following in Southern California, in LA. Yep. They're still around, actually. But that's brand new singers, brand new. I think it's like a 13-piece band by now.
Wow, that's cool.
Before it was like maybe 5 of us, but we play different. a lot of amazing venues in Southern California. We played at the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh wow.
We played at it used to be the Cudrak Theater.
Oh. Yeah, I forget what it's called, but
yeah,
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's in the Hollywood.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it was great.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was spoiled for playing. I didn't know how big of a following that we would get.
Yeah. So real quick though, so this band, this is kind of like your first band.
My first,
And they're like a legit band playing legit shows. They're not just a garage band.
Yeah, I was really like in my mind I didn't think like I deserved to be here. I was in the green room where Jimi Hendrix was.
Oh my God.
I'm like, this real life?
So what about you, John? What was the first band you joined?
First band I joined, I think, was about my junior year in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Just me and a friend. I think we called ourselves Elegy.
Okay.
That was around for a little while. We played like one local show at like a fire hall, and a lot of kids from school came with like another band from high school.
Okay.
And then I got together with two other friends from high school. My one buddy, John Cannon, and another guy. We called ourselves Diverge.
Okay.
We were like getting into like some metal,
Nice.
kind of Metallica, trying to be a little heavier, but it wasn't really working out.
Yeah.
I got into this real heavy metal band called By Any Means.
Okay.
And it was kind of like Dillinger Escape Plan.
Oh wow. Okay.
Type music.
Yep.
And that was real fun. I was a guitar player to just back up screaming.
Nice.
And that I thought we were going to be famous in that band. That band was so awesome. We were playing some like real shows in like Philadelphia and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then unfortunately our singer, we called him Roach.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Canzanese, he was an underwater welder in Louisiana. Just got done school,
Yep.
and we still know what happened. He ended up passing away.
Oh,
We don't even know
that's
to this
brutal.
day how exactly it happened. So we kind of broke up. And then my other friend, Tom Getzinger, and then the drummer, Conrad Hurst, we just kind of started doing, some other cover stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I started just doing a lot of open mics. And I went to, it used to be called McMichael's in Gloucester.
Okay.
I met Jeremy and Michelle Carmen. He was playing with her. And our friend Lauren. She kind of introduced me to Jeremy. And then she told me to go to this other place, Red Door Studios. And then we were there forever.
Okay.
Joe Angeloni, he's the one that owned that. He really helped us out, pushed me to do a lot of stuff. I was hosting an open mic there for a while, me and Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
So we started a band, what was it? First it was Johnny Mars, then it was Trippin' Mars.
Trippin' Mars.
And we started developing like a style. We did like 90s R&B kind of covers, but like made them like rock.
Yeah.
Now I feel like it's not really that cool anymore because everybody does it, but I
it's
felt like it was
back
kind
then.
of original back
90s
then.
R&B
somewhat.
rock covers. Rock.
Yeah, so we had a good thing going. Drummer was a little flaky, so it wasn't really working out. I kind of got stolen away, unfortunately, because I love 90s grunge music and all that.
Right.
There was these other guys that were coming, and they were like, oh man, you're a really good singer. We want to sing all these cover band, make some money and this and that. So I started playing with them, thinking that I would play with both of us.
Yeah, it was all good. I remember that day.
But we ended up getting rid of the bass player. He was a really good guy, Dave White. He's still around. And we brought in Jeremy. That was, and I kind of convinced him to do some original songs.
Okay.
That band was called, first it was One Among Us. Then we brought Jeremy in, and we changed it from One Among Us and Trippin' Mars. We turned it to Trip Among Us,
Okay.
which I think is a cool name still.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And that band was awesome. I thought we had a lot of potential.
Mm-hmm.
We played a lot, probably around for at least like a year, right?
Yeah, we played for maybe a little bit over a year.
Maybe longer than that.
All over kind of South Jersey.
Super fun, but I was serious. I was like trying to like make a good attempt at like making it,
Yeah, sure.
being a rock star, and people start like not showing up for practice, and not everybody is on the same schedule, not everybody's as determined as everybody else, and
Sure.
it just wasn't working out. Plus I had kids and all, little ones at the time.
Yep.
So then I got tired of that. We kicked out the two guys, but we kind of just stopped playing.
Yeah, we just stopped.
Then I was laid off from
Took a
work.
time
I'm a sheet metal worker,
Okay.
so you get laid off from time to time. So I'm like, oh, well, let's try to make some real money. So I auditioned for this band that's been around for a long time, all tuned up. They play down the shore a lot, Wildwood.
Yep.
And that was cool. I was making decent money, you know, but it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work, like every Friday, Saturday, Sunday down the shore.
Sure.
Practice once a week.
Yep.
I mean, we would have to learn a song that week that I've never even heard before. Like whatever's new on the radio, I'd have to learn it and sing it that weekend.
Yep.
And that just got to be too much work. I went back to work, so then I never saw my kids.
Sure.
Then I had to go to night work. I didn't see my kids at all.
Oh, that's rough.
So eventually I told them, I was like, yeah, I got to trying to work on this parent thing. I think I'm done with this, you know.
How old were your kids at the time?
I think my daughter was in kindergarten, so probably like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
My son was 2.
Wow. Yeah, that's young.
And so I got done with that, and I just got tired of music. I got done with it, and I just put my guitar down, and I gave up music for like a good 8 years. I started doing yoga and Jiu Jitsu.
Okay.
and just being a dad.
That's cool.
And then Jeremy, he's always been a good friend, a lot better friend to me than I am to him. And he's always kind of
crying. I'm not crying.
He's kept in touch, and he's always kind of pushed me, but not hard. He's like, whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
And now my kids are both into music, so that's kind of gave me a little bit of a push.
That's awesome.
And Jeremy,
super talented kids.
Are they really?
Yeah.
really
Very
talented.
cool.
And Jeremy just, you know, giving me the nudge, and so I brought my son and I brought my daughter over to the open mic, and this is probably about 2 years ago. And little by little, I just caught the bug.
Sure.
And more recently, I've been writing songs again.
That's
just
awesome.
like within this month, I wrote 3 songs just coming out of me.
That's great.
And I just it's awesome because I have no expectation. I'm doing it just because it's fun,
Right.
just because I want to do it,
Yep.
and it's just pure and like authentic.
Yeah, I think that's when it really becomes kind of special and fun.
Yeah.
It's when you're really just kind of doing it for yourself. You're doing it for the enjoyment of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, combine that with a little bit of patience, like stuff has a tendency to happen then. You know what I mean?
Like a podcast that
Right.
I was asked to do.
Right, exactly. Well, I mean,
Full
like,
circle.
exactly. So, like, I found, at least with my experience, whenever I'm trying to, like, force something, it never quite works out. And then when I decide, all right, relax, take some pressure off, that's when I start creating more than ever. That's when I come up with, like, good ideas. Like, starting this podcast, it was something that I had kind of running around in my head, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to force, like, whenever the time is right, like, I'll do it. I'll take my time. I'll buy the microphones, get the laptop, like, all that stuff. And then once I was ready to pull the trigger on it, you know, we did it. And now here we are.
Yeah, I really appreciate, like, majority of your guests that you had. They were from the Red, White, and Brews.
Oh, yeah, a
mic.
lot of them there. Yeah.
And it was so fun to hear them and perform.
Yep.
It's like, that's so cool, you know?
All these guys are real supportive of each other.
They're
I just
so
met all these
supportive.
guys, and they're
I
like
love it.
super nice and
Yeah.
encouraging.
Yeah, this whole scene is like everybody's really here to try to lift each other up and stuff. It's very encouraging.
I didn't get to say enough about this guy.
Oh, man.
This guy probably meshes with me more than anybody I've ever met musically.
Nice.
He's the
Watch out, Shelly.
he's the person who
That's his wife.
appreciates my songs.
Katrina should probably be worried too.
She
I know,
should be
too.
worried. They should all be worried. But it's just he's a special dude, and I appreciate how much he loves my music, and we vibe together. And I've never played with anybody
Oh,
else.
man.
That's awesome.
That
Makes me feel bad I didn't invite you to be part of my wedding party.
I just feel bad you let me sleep in your bed last night.
You were there.
You made me sleep at the foot of the bed like a dog.
Oh, gosh.
Just took a really weird turn, but that's all right. So cool.
Well, I thought this was this trust circle.
That's right. It's a circle of trust.
Circle of trust.
Sorry, just between the three of us and the other 200 people that are going to listen.
202.
That's right.
Yes.
So when did you move from California to New Jersey?
I remember the day. Well, I remember the year. Sorry. I remember the day. It was really humid. Coming from California, it was dry weather. But when I arrived at 9:00 at night in New Jersey. It was so humid. It was September. And I'm like, why am I sweating at 9:00 at night? You know?
Yep.
So I was tired. I'm like, I need to hop in the shower, I'm sweating and everything. Driving. It took me 5 hours. I drove with my best friend and we flew him back. But I drove my car
So
cross country.
You drove. Okay, so well, it didn't take you 5 hours.
No, did I say 5 hours?
Yeah.
5 days.
5
Sorry.
days.
5 days. What time is it right now? I don't know. Yeah, 5 days. So actually, we could have made it in 4 days actually, but we wasted the day in Las Vegas.
Oh, there you go.
So-
there you go.
So Vegas,
Nice.
we stayed a whole day there, and then we moved through Colorado.
Okay.
Went through Missouri. We saw the St. Louis Arch.
Nice. Yep.
So that was really cool. And then went through Pennsylvania, and then we eventually got to New Jersey
Through the Lincoln Tunnel.
and Lincoln Tunnel. Well,
That's a
later.
little.
That's another time.
Strawberry
That's
gumdrop.
next weekend. Yeah. The Lincoln Tunnel.
That's right. I just want to.
I just got that.
That's an elf reference, if anybody's wondering. He didn't go all the way up to New York just to go through the Lincoln
I
Tunnel.
was hoping somebody would get it. Be like, what is he talking about?
So why?
Story of my life.
So why did you move from California to Jersey? Was there a reason?
Long story short, my dad lived here on the East Coast. He took a job in Ridley Park, but he lived in New Jersey because it was cheaper, I guess. But he had a contract to work out here for some amount of years, and my mom was still living in California. They were still married. It just worked out
Yep.
for work-wise,
Sure.
right? So at the time, in 2008, I wanted to focus on going back to school. At the time, I took some time off of school. I got laid off my job. And at the time, because I wanted to focus on school, I quit Element Band.
Okay.
So I quit the band. I had nothing going for me. And then my dad, he was visiting California one summer, and he said, "Jeremy, why don't you come over to the East Coast, stay with me, finish your school, get a job, whatever you want to do. After you finish your school, it's up to you. You want to stay here or go back to California?" All right, cool. So I moved here, went to school. I went to GCC,
Okay.
got my associates.
Yep.
Transferred to Rowan University.
Nice.
At the time, I was having issues with my dad,
Okay.
so I moved out.
Mm-hmm.
Had to get a job.
Yep.
Had to find a place to stay. I took some time off of school. Eventually, it got me to a point where, like, I met some friends, and these friends went to these open mics, and these open mics led me to other musicians. It was the open mic at McMichael's.
Oh, okay. Where you met John?
Where I met Johnny, hosted by Michelle Carmen, and she and I, Michelle asked me to play bass for her. I think she's still doing music. She's an amazing musician, singer-songwriter, but she does covers. She plays piano. She taught herself how to play piano. Usually she would have somebody to accompany her to play guitar, but she mainly sings too.
Okay.
But now she taught herself how to play piano. Now she does it all by herself.
That's awesome.
You know?
Yep.
So Johnny and I, we've been playing for a while. When he decided to take a break, so I kept on going to Red Dwarf Studios in
Red Dwarf.
Sewell.
A lot of people
okay.
came out. Megan Knight, she's pretty popular
Okay,
these
I've
days.
heard of her.
She came
Yep.
out of there. She was
Yep.
only 15, I think, when we met her.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Her parents are great people. Jason and
people, yeah.
Jennifer.
What kind of place is Red Dwarf? I've never been there
It
before.
was a recording studio, but they also had this big room with a stage, and they put on shows and open mic. It was a really cool place.
Yep.
It's like a lockout studio
Okay.
where you could rent it by the day. They don't have it where you could rent it like monthly.
Right.
It's by hourly, right?
Sure.
But yeah, they used to have shows every weekend.
Oh, wow. So John, you're writing music. What would you say your style is when you're writing?
Well, nowadays I kind of just whatever happens. But I'm definitely a metalhead. Alice in Chains, Green Day, Coheed and Cambria, Pantera, Tool, Silverchair, Fuel, like anything from the 90s. I love
Nice.
90s R&B. I love anything that's progressive, like
Nice.
off time, crazy stuff. So I try to throw little weird riffs and
Okay.
off time stuff whenever I can, or try to play in a weird time signature. But I would say it's kind of mostly, I don't know, what would you say? A bluesy rock.
I would say like more progressive. It's definitely not indie rock. It's like more rock.
I used to try to be unique. Now I just kind of, I simplify things now a little bit more. Like just instead of trying to force it, I just whatever song it is.
Yep.
Lately, it's been all acoustic.
Yep. When you say lately, how lately? Like
lately, the past couple months, really.
Okay. Yep.
I'm fresh back into I played my first show in probably 12 years this past weekend with
Red Wine
Jeremy.
Brew at Reseda Jams.
Oh, that was a great show, by the way.
We're planning on getting something going. I'd like to play a lot more shows in the spring and the summer. I like to do what I call original covers. I like to take the cover songs and I always liked cover songs that were completely different, like Marilyn Manson's Sweet Dreams. It's totally different from the original.
Right.
Sometimes I just play songs just like a cover because I like the song. But
sure. Yep.
Ideally, that's what I would like to do. I would like to play a mixture of some covers and some originals and just kind of see what happens.
Yeah.
Nice. You did a cover of No Diggity.
That's probably one of the first ones that I started doing, yeah.
And if you listen to the original song, there's no chord progressions in it.
Right.
It's just
beats, right?
It's a beat and
it's
harmonies.
Only like one note, I think.
And one note on I've got the note what it was, but
it's like
but he made an awesome chord progression to the song.
Yeah. And I'm real big into Erykah Badu is a favorite of mine.
Okay.
And it's really about the vocals, the lyrics too, but the vocals, and I like. My daughter calls it creepy pretty, like Alice in Chains.
Yeah,
it needs to be like dark, but have like a brightness to it, if that makes any sense. But like I just feel like Lane Staley from Alice in Chains, the way he just decides like to just go to that note that you didn't think he would go to, or twist the note to it. It's like, oh, I didn't expect that. I hate when you hear a song and you know exactly where the note's going.
Right, when it's predictable.
I feel like Erykah Badu is the same way. She just is just unique and just the subtle little details that she adds into the song where it's like the one time she'll sing the note this way and the next time she'll sing a different note.
That's cool.
And it's just
I know who she is and I know she had a hit song a number of years ago. I forget what it was, but I'm a little bit curious. I mean, I've got a pretty wide range of taste in music as well, but like how do you go from Metallica, Alice in Chains to listening to Erykah Badu?
Man. Back when the iPods, if you would listen to my iPod, you'd been so confused. There's a joke that I have with a friend of ours, Christy, that I love the song Hold On by Wilson Phillips. So
oh, really?
I saw this one meme and the guy's in the gym and he's just lifting weights and it's like what you see. And then it's like what I hear, it's like, hold on. I love Mariah Carey. I love it all. I actually, when I was younger, my older sister, really her and my dad were the two main ones that got me into the music that I like because I stole my older sister's CDs.
Oh, okay.
My dad was constantly showing me new stuff, but I grew up playing football and wrestling, but I took a couple years there, middle school. I got kind of chunky and secluded and didn't have any friends and everything. And my sister she liked pageants and theater and all. So I did little theater. For a couple years, so nice. I like musicals.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I love musicals.
This is new to me.
There's a musical called Mame, and when I was in fourth grade, I was the main kid in the play for the high school musical.
You got the lead for it?
The whole school came and did a field trip, and me and another friend of mine, Brandon Rudder, we split the part in different
That's awesome.
days, and they all came and did a field trip and watched us.
Where at? Where was it?
This was West Effort.
Okay, that's
West Effort High School. But yes, I did theater for years, and that was great. I mean, I loved it.
Yeah.
This whole time we could have done musical
I
covers.
know, right?
Yeah.
This whole time.
But eventually I got back into sports again, football and wrestling.
It's funny like to picture like the dude working out listening to One More Day. People listening can't see you, but you're in really good shape. You're a big dude. You look a little scary. So to think that you're listening to that kind of music and Mariah Carey.
I need a couple inches. I'm only 5'9" on a good day, so not that scary. I cry a lot.
I mean it as a
He used to be a bouncer, this guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Where at?
Hollywood Diner or Hollywood Cafe. But I'll tell you what, on Thursday nights when they had the beer pong night, man, it got crazy. Me and my buddy Ronnie Wilson, we grew up together and we were both bouncing there.
Any good story? Any good bouncing stories?
Well, I never did it before. So one of my first nights, I'm like, it was a big giant, think it was a Pacquiao fight when he fought, was it Marquette? I forget the guy's name.
Yeah.
And he got knocked out and he was out for like ever. And it was
Right.
like packed in there. And some guy all night, we had to tell them to take their hats off. It was a stupid rule.
Yeah.
And he's all drunk. So this other guy spills a drink at the bar. And I'm like, worked up and like, so I have to kick the guy at the bar out. And I talk him down. He's nice and cool. But the other guy with the hat wouldn't leave it alone.
It's always
And
the guy with the hat.
I kept telling you, I was like, bro, stop, whatever. I kept warning him. And then my problem is I just black out. So I sort of blacked out. I have like bits and pieces and I just kind of grabbed him and I did a wrestling move and picked him up and slammed him on his head and hit him a couple times. And then I got up and I kind of like came to and I'm like, oh my God, I needed this job. I'm like,
right. You're thinking you're
shaking.
getting fired.
I go to the bathroom. I'm like, I'm done. My wife's going to kill me. And they loved it. The problem was, then they kind of encouraged. They encouraged like anytime. And I'm like a small. I'm like you said, I'm in shape, but I'm not like compared to bouncers. I'm not. So whenever there's a problem, they go to me because they feel like beer muscles. They could take me.
Right.
So nothing too crazy. A couple, kind of situations, but the one night it was crazy, and me and another guy, we were just left and right throwing people out. And we were just frustrated. Yeah. So I saw him, and he's like. Got the guy behind the arms kind of. So I helped him. I grabbed his legs and we both had the same bad idea. We got him outside and we both tossed him
in the parking lot.
He landed on his head. His head split open. There's this drunk guy and he's like, I'm a lawyer and I'm going to sue you guys. And I got all scared. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I'm like, I'm going to go to jail. And had another guy come back one night after the fact. I didn't know at the time, looking for me with a knife.
Oh my God.
I'm like, this is so silly. Like, what am I doing? Like,
yeah, right.
This is terrible.
Were you did you?
This was before I knew jiu-jitsu.
I was going to say, did you know jiu-jitsu
Not
at the time?
No.
What's that like? I thought about years ago. I thought about trying to learn.
Everybody should do it.
Yeah. What's your
changed
take on
my
it?
life? I love it so much. I just got my brown belt.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Things are getting serious when you get a brown belt.
Yeah. Right. That's the one before black belt, right? Is that the one right before black belt?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's taken me about 8 years.
Mm-hmm. Is this all because Maynard James Keenan does jiu-jitsu?
No, actually, believe it or not, I didn't know that until all these guys. I didn't know until after, even like Joe Rogan and all.
Yeah,
I didn't know they did that till after. You'd be surprised at how many people.
I know a lot of people do.
Yeah, but I got into it. I mean, I always liked UFC back in the day. Me and my dad would order wings and rent the tapes and have nights watching it. I used to do kung fu when I was little. So but anyway, I missed wrestling. I wrestled my whole life, and it's kind of silly. We could say, hey guy, you want to get together and play some basketball, or have a football game. I can't say, hey guys, you want to get together tonight and wrestle? It's just weird. It's not fair. It's the only sport that you just have to stop.
Is this before or after the beers?
So jiu-jitsu to me was like the next best thing.
Yeah.
So I got to wrestle again.
And jiu-jitsu is a lot of wrestling from what I understand.
Basically wrestling, but you can choke people and
right.
and manipulate their joints instead of pinning them. And then when you realize but the crazy thing is once you start doing it, it makes you not ever want to fight anybody ever again.
Well, yeah, I heard that about. Explain that more because I heard about that.
A lot of different. One, it's like you realize nobody's as tough as they think they are, and everybody. I think it was Dan Gable said that, fatigue makes a coward of all men. Like once you start getting tired, everybody thinks they're tough. You just see when they come in.
Right.
And even if they take you down on the ground, within 30 seconds, the average person's just
winded,
tired.
Yeah.
So you just kind of take your time, you get on top of them, and then they're tired, they panic, and they usually like offer you their neck or their arm or something. It's like you just wait for them to get tired.
When you know what to look for, sure.
Yeah. But the same thing goes for me. It's like, how easily you could get tired if you get carried away and you don't, calm yourself down.
Yeah.
And then you're tired and somebody's on top of you should not be beating you.
Right.
You allowed yourself to get tired. And then you're like, if this was real life, I'd be in so much trouble.
Right. Sure.
And then the other thing is it makes you realize it's like, what's the point? I mean, it really is true. Like once you start doing martial arts, it makes you makes you calmer. It's like you kind of get all your aggression out. I don't need to hurt it. I feel pretty confident that I could, handle myself with majority of people. But also like but why does it even matter?
Right.
Other than losing your temper, which I still do.
Yep.
it's like, well, what's the point? And
Yeah.
I'm not going to duke it out with somebody anyway. I'm going to try to put you on the ground and then be done with it. And
So when you say it changed your life, is it really, did it helped you kind of get your anger under control? And
it did, but
yeah.
also it made me, part of the reason why I stopped drinking. I don't drink anymore.
Nice. Congratulations.
It's kind of like you go in there and you're tired after, drinking or eating bad and you want to throw up. And it's just like, it makes you want to get up and work out. I start doing ice baths and saunas, and I got into running, and that's pretty much my whole life is just working out.
That's
By the
awesome.
time I wake up.
That's
and
awesome.
it makes you want to just be better, just improve yourself.
I tried cold showers, and that lasted maybe 3 days.
Have you tried cryotherapy?
No, what's that?
He
Oh, that's right. You made me a shirt. Forgot about that.
So he went to this cryotherapy place where basically it's like a sauna where like you're setting in.
It's like the opposite of a sauna.
Opposite of sauna.
Okay,
Right.
so it's cold.
This was years ago.
Super cold. So his wife took a picture and posted it on Facebook. It was basically him like freezing in this.
The same day.
Same day.
They threw me a surprise birthday party. It was my 30th birthday. The same day, he got a shirt made somehow.
Oh, really?
Gave it to me.
From the picture? You made a T-shirt out of the picture?
I'm the coolest dude.
That's fantastic.
I jump in the ocean now every year on my birthday. I just did it this past
When's your
Sunday.
birthday? When's your birthday?
February 2nd, Groundhog
Okay,
Day.
congratulations.
Shout
Happy
out.
birthday.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Dave
man.
White, the old bass player. Same birthday.
Another
Groundhog team.
another February birthday. Leanne's is February 13th. Mine's February 20th.
Oh,
Yeah.
We got a lot of Februarys in my
man.
family also.
Yep, good stuff. All right, so Jeremy, let's shift over to you.
Yeah.
I like to learn about people's backgrounds, not entirely just all music, right? So is it safe to say you're Hawaiian? I don't want to insult you, but
No, you're good. I mean, I check all the boxes when I go to college.
I do too.
Asian, yes. Pacific Islander, yes. Latino, why not?
all right. That's great. So what's your background? Tell me about
So
your background.
I'm Filipino and actually
Okay.
Chinese.
Oh, okay. So I was way off.
Yeah.
My apologies.
It's cool. You know what? If you saw my uncles, they look Hawaiian because
Yeah.
they have like a really good tan, you know.
Okay.
In all fairness, you do play in Hawaii.
Yeah, you're in a
And then
luau
there's-
thing, which is where I'm going next. But yeah. So tell me more about your background. Like, what are your parents and all that stuff?
So they're from Hawaii. No, I'm just kidding. No. So both my parents are from the Philippines. They came to America when they were young. My grandfather on my dad's side, he was in the army, the U.S. Army,
Okay.
and he was stationed up in California and in Washington State. And my mom, she came to America when she was like 18. And by the time she already graduated college in the Philippines. In the Philippines, you go to school early.
Oh,
You
okay.
can graduate college when you're 18.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so she got her accounting degree. She moved to America. Long story short, my parents met. They lived in Southern California in LA. They had me, my other two sisters. Well, I'm the middle.
Okay.
So I have an older sister and a younger sister.
Okay.
They're all still in California.
Oh, okay. Your dad too? Did he go back?
He did go back, and then he passed away
Oh, I'm
in
sorry.
2020.
Okay. Sorry
Yeah,
to hear
recently it was really sad. At the time, everything was locked down. I try to not talk about this too much, it gets to me. But anyways, I couldn't go to his funeral.
that. Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, yeah. At the time, he retired actually
Okay.
in 2017. So he had his job at Boeing
Okay.
in Ridley Park.
Yeah, when you said Ridley Park, I was thinking Boeing because my grandfather worked there.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, well, I got to go there on like a family day when I was like 6 or something, and they took us all through like the Chinooks and stuff. He made parts for those the twin blade helicopters, the Chinooks. So yeah, we got to walk through the whole factory and everything.
Wasn't it cool?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Like, because we lived in Swedesboro, that's where his townhome was when I moved here, and we see all these Army helicopters flying everywhere. Like,
Yep.
oh, this is so cool. It's like, this is what you work for? Like, yeah. Like, oh.
What did he do there? Do you remember? Do you know?
He was like this team lead on some projects that he could not really discuss.
Oh, okay.
So
all right.
I'm like,
all right.
okay. So I'm not exactly which division he was part of, but
Okay.
he was just managing the team, and he was in charge of doing presentations.
Oh, okay.
So every
Gotcha.
night I see him like on his computer on PowerPoint
Wow.
and doing everything like presentation wise. Like
That's cool.
so, but in 2017, he retired. He went back to California. I decided to stay here. At the time, I met my wife, Katrina.
Yep.
We were just dating. And then years go by, 2020 hits, or, the pandemic hits.
Yeah, sure.
It got really crazy with traveling
Yeah.
and being around each other. And at the time, I proposed to Katrina on Christmas Eve, 2019.
Okay. Before the lockdown.
Yeah,
Yep.
before lockdown. And at the time, my dad was still alive at the time. So I proposed, and we were real excited. We were planning to get married in 2 years. But we didn't know what was coming. So the pandemic hit, 2020 hit. People were locked down. My dad was in California. He was retired. So he was like either going to Home Depot, Costco, or at the gym, or he stayed at home. Those are the 4 places he was.
Yep.
So I don't know what happened.
Costco so much.
I know. We don't know how he caught it. My mom, I think she got COVID, but she got it later.
Okay.
But she didn't catch it when my dad caught it.
Okay.
Because I'm not quite sure. What happened was
It's a weird thing. Some people
It
can
is
get
a
it, and
weird
then the
thing.
other people don't. And
Yeah. We found out that he caught it. It got to, he was already having some health issues already.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was there like a pre-existing thing going?
Yeah, he's type 2 to diabetic.
Okay. Yep.
And he had some health issues. He was on a lot of meds.
Yep.
So when he got to the hospital, he was doing okay. He didn't want to get into dialysis, but he's been pushing that off, even though he knew that he should have been on
Right.
dialysis by then.
Right.
So he decided to go on to dialysis. And then what happened was that he had liquid or water in his lungs.
Oh yeah.
So they had to put him on this bed that turns him over upside down.
Yep.
So that the water can seep outside his lungs. But it got to a point where he was like going in and out. So they had to put him on a ventilator.
Yeah.
And then that was like, when we heard about that, I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, that's rough.
And I couldn't make it out there in time. So when he passed, I was the only one in Jersey not able to get there. My mom was there, my sister was there.
Right.
And they had the funeral, but it was like so, and they couldn't have so many people, right? Because everything was so.
Were your mom and sisters at the funeral?
Yeah, they were there.
Okay.
Yeah. It got me really sad, and I was like really depressed. Like I didn't really have a good relationship with my dad growing up, but after living with him for a little bit, and then having him move across country, it made our relationship so much better.
Well, that's good. That's good. You guys were able to kind of because you said that you had moved out because you were having issues living with your dad.
Right.
So things got better after that.
We made up.
Good.
We went over, whatever trauma that I had growing up. I don't blame my dad. He's worked job after job. He worked in Huntington Beach, and he had to wake up at 5 o'clock every morning to beat the traffic.
Sure.
And wait 2 hours in traffic just to get to work.
Yeah.
And beat another 2 hours of coming home. 5 days a week.
Yeah, I mean that's what you had to do.
That's what you had to do.
That's what. Yeah, a lot of people did. It's a shame.
So he bought me my first bass.
Okay.
So because of him, I had the resources to get better at my instrument. So I got into a lot of different genres of music, rock, world music, Armenian music. But my love will always be towards rock music.
Okay.
You know, I love Smashing Pumpkins, love Tool, love Perfect Circle.
Yep.
You know, I love Mr. Bungle.
Nice.
I love Mr. Bungle.
Mike Patton.
Yeah, love Mike Patton.
Faith No More, right?
Faith No More, yeah.
Yep.
So when I moved out here, I started playing bass for this other band called Say What Again. It also had Ian.
Ian Good.
Ian
right?
Good.
And Chris Kelly. Yep.
Chris Kelly. This drummer, Matt McEwen.
Okay.
And Mike Semple. He was a saxophonist / singer. We did cover songs, and then we stopped. And then Chris Kelly's like, hey, do you want to start another band? Like, sure. And then at the time, I was dating Katrina. Her younger brother also plays guitar. So we started this one band called Chasing Sasquatch.
Okay.
Yeah, Chasing Sasquatch. It was fun.
It's
Nice.
still a good name.
We played, and we wanted a female singer, so we got this female singer. We went through a few of them. Then we got this one singer. Overall, I think she's a phenomenal singer, but it didn't work out.
Yep.
For whatever reason, it didn't work out.
Yep.
But Chris Kelly and Ian Good and I made up Green Light Special. So Green Light Special was a party band, and we found this drummer named Mateo Johnson. He was in high school at the time. Now he's going to University of Maryland.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's just an amazing kid. You know,
Nice.
we're trying to find singers like so Jersey Calling.
Yeah.
Vicky.
Yeah. Victoria Nicole.
Another Red
Victoria-
Dwarf
Yeah.
alumni.
Oh really?
Yep.
Okay. I had Jersey Calling in here a few episodes ago. Yeah. I mean, it was probably like a month ago by now.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're great.
She's amazing. She has an amazing voice, right? Yeah.
So were you the band that Josh not stole Victoria from, but Josh said that he saw her in another band and he was like, I need her in my band.
No.
Okay.
No. So she's in a different other band. She's with Gem of the Vibe, which is another great band.
Yeah.
Alex
Yeah.
Alex Cavalier.
Oh, that's a different band.
But he was in that band, wasn't he?
No, that was the Morning After band.
Oh, but they weren't in a band together.
They were all in the band. Like, yeah.
See, we're all connected somehow.
Close knit family.
Yeah,
for
Red
sure.
Dwarf. Yeah. Vicky was there, and then
It's like
John
we
Mandel was
graduated
there.
and went out into the world. You know?
I know. Mike Semple was there. It was like a huge music family. And then it got me to different bands, and then it got me to do open mics, and then got me to Red, White, and Brew.
Your open mic at Red, White, and Brew became very, very popular. That's where a lot of the previous guests on here have come from. So,
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it.
I owe you guys a lot for just the number of guests that can be on the podcast.
I owe
That's why
you.
I started playing again too.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And Johnny, you know, like you've been killing it with the open mics, and a lot of people have nothing but great things to say about your music, man.
Yeah, I saw the videos from this past Reseda
Jams.
Yeah. I saw the videos of you two playing together, and yeah, it all sounded great. You know, I was like, man, this guy's got a nice voice. He can play guitar really well. So yeah, it's good because I didn't know who you were, and Jeremy was like, you know, I don't have any original songs to play afterwards, but I got my friend John, and he's got some original songs. So I'll bring him, and we'll do the interview, and then we'll come and we'll play his songs. So I was like, yeah, that works.
Yeah, he's an amazing singer-songwriter. Like the way
I'm very I don't. I guess everybody says that. I don't think I'm like the greatest. I think I'm okay, but I appreciate.
Well, that's
that.
good. The modesty will get you places.
it does.
Don't be an asshole.
I do think I'm a good songwriter. I will say that.
Well, that's good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear some of the stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. I know there's just two things I want to touch on specifically to you, Jeremy. So how did Reseda Band start?
It gets confusing. So after Chasing Sasquatch, I wanted to form like a trio band. So it was me, Chris Kelly, and my good friend Trent.
Okay.
But Trent ended up going to Phoenix to go to nursing school.
Okay.
So now it's just me and Chris doing acoustic covers. Since it was basically my band, anyone who I wanted to play with, really. Chris Kelly has been like one of my best friends, and he's been there always for me, and he's an amazing musician. So why not have Chris be part of my band? So he's there, and I always wanted to have a third person to come in to sing. So we have sometimes we had Ian Good to come and play keys and sing.
Yep.
Sometimes we have our friend Katie to sing. Vicky.
Yep.
As well. But it's basically whoever I want to play with. Like I can have Johnny, and we could say,
Okay.
this is Reseda Band.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I did it one
got
time.
you. Yep. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then the other project that you've got going on, right? This is
Yeah.
some kind of luau band.
Luau
Tell me
Band.
about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's not really my project. I just so the guy was looking for a bass player, and there's like, they don't have to be Polynesian. They could be Filipino.
Okay.
So-
Or they could
Close
look.
enough.
They could look Hawaiian.
They could look Hawaiian. I mean, I could look like Maui with all his tattoos.
That's right.
I
You
mean,
can grow your hair out longer.
grow my hair out longer. Yeah. No. Yeah. So last year, or maybe 2 years ago, my friend said that I'm in this because he's a dancer and he's one of the dancers.
Yep.
And his name's Chris Marshall. He used to be a dancer at the time, and they were looking for bass players because they have so many shows during the summer, and it's really hard to find bass players for every show.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I think they have like 5 shows a week.
Wow.
So we did some private parties out in Cape May. We had some private parties like at people's houses in their backyards.
Yep.
And some were like all the way in North Jersey's. We did one in New York.
Okay. Wow.
At this corporate holiday party they had.
Nice.
In January of last year.
Okay.
It was cold, and we normally end with like fire dancers.
I was going to say, so it's not just the band, right? There's the luau dancers, and then I was going to ask about the fire stuff, if that's a thing, but apparently it is.
It's a full-on show. They talk about all the Polynesian islands, the different, Samoa, Tahiti, and some of the songs are in those languages.
Yeah.
And I love it, But the main guy who owns this entertainment, his name's Cepho, but I call him Kenny.
Okay.
But he's a great guy. He just had a baby last year, and we played. They hired my band, Reseda Band, to play at the baby shower.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm like, this is so cool. And they had all the dancers there. They had like, they danced to us playing like,
that's
doing
cool.
their hula dances.
Yeah,
and
that's
so it was
awesome.
so fun.
Yeah. What's the name of the luau? Like, it's not just the luau band.
Yeah, it's called Paradise Luau Show.
Okay, cool.
Some of the dancers are not even from here. They're from
really?
LA.
Oh, wow.
They get hired for like a lot of shows. Like we did this one Preston and Steve show.
Oh, yeah?
We're at the casino in PA.
Oh, at Parks.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's Park Casino. Is it Park?
Yeah, the one in Ben Salem is Parks.
Yeah.
That place is awesome.
But yeah, it was really cool, and it was outdoors. It was like next to the pool area, and then I didn't know that Preston and Steve were going to be there. I thought, but no, Preston and Steve was right there, and I shook their hands, and they're doing limbo on the stage.
Oh, okay, cool.
While we're playing music in the background.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Fantastic. Yeah, so where can people find you, John?
Well, it's Johnny Marz, Marz, music on Facebook, YouTube. My YouTube, I got a lot of stuff from over the years.
Sure.
I've been trying to post some more. I'm going to start posting more stuff in the meantime. I might even start just recording videos of myself playing stuff. I'm on TikTok now too.
Yeah.
Kids
I'm
on
reluctantly on Tiktok too.
But I feel like that's
I forget
probably
I'm on TikTok.
I feel like that's probably easier to. I don't even know.
It's weird. TikTok.
I'm should have stopped.
TikTok, you can get followers by accident on TikTok because there's so many people on
Well,
TikTok.
I put it on public and I got all these people I don't even know. I'm like,
That's what happens. That's what happens. Is there anything else you want to bring up anything else you want to talk about before we get to the performance?
I want to shout out to my wife Katrina.
Yeah, man.
She's been my inspiration to keep on doing music. She supports my music. I support her music. She's been amazing with her ukulele videos and her music and her group. She taught herself how to play ukulele.
Okay.
I didn't teach her.
Yeah, she's doing great too. I see her on
She's
TikTok.
doing amazing.
Yep.
And like when you're talking about TikTok, she has all these videos up.
I see her every day on TikTok.
Yeah, okay. You probably see her more than I do. I barely go on TikTok. But she has all these followers and people viewing her videos. Like, that's just amazing.
It's great.
we'll be trying to get on her stuff to get noticed.
I know, right? just be a Filipino girl, play ukulele.
There you go.
Get noticed right
She's also a great photographer.
My profile picture is is a picture she took. So
Yeah, all of my.
I did not ask for permission.
If anybody listening who's seen it on Facebook, Instagram, all of my promo pictures are the ones that Katrina took. They're amazing.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, well, it's awesome. Especially the one when we were playing at Claychella.
Oh yeah, I love that
one photo. Man,
yep.
I was there.
That's right. I've even framed that and put it like in my bedroom.
Yeah.
And my kids walked in one time and they're just like, seriously, you got a picture of yourself hanging on your wall? And I'm like, I really like that picture. So yeah.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
Anyway, so shout out to Katrina. She's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. All right, so you're gonna play a couple songs for us.
Yeah.
What songs are you gonna play?
I just want to say, I swear, I was about to say good things about my wife too, and my mom and my kids. Now it sounds like I'm totally lying. I swear on my life, that's literally what I was about to say when you went.
Do it.
No, I mean,
Johnny, why are you hurting me?
It sounds not like it's a lie now. But I do want to say that my mom for getting me my first guitar, and my wife, she's been, I love her more than anything in the world.
That's awesome.
And actually, when I proposed to her, I sang a song. I wrote a song.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
That's awesome.
And
I didn't.
my daughter, who is has the most, and I'm not just saying, the most beautiful voice I've ever heard in my entire
She
life.
does.
Awesome.
And
Very cool.
And my son has lately just changed my whole life. He asked if we could start going to church, and I was having a rough time, and he wanted to start doing music, and he just says he's put me in such a good place just from asking me a simple question. So
how old are they now?
my son is going to be 13 soon this month on the 15th. My daughter is
Another February birthday.
Yep. My daughter's 15. I don't know, should I say my wife's age?
So 13
It was
and
nice
15.
knowing you, Johnny.
So what songs are you going to sing for us?
Okay, well, we decided Jeremy likes my song Long Way Down.
Okay.
And another song that I just wrote like a week or two ago called Don't Ask.
Nice.
And Long Way Down is kind of just, it's just about having like racing thoughts and anxiety and not even knowing what you're feeling. And Don't Ask is really about, it's how we're not born. God didn't put us here to go to school every day and sit in the classroom and then learn how to just work every day until you maybe get some time on the weekend or night to enjoy your life. And by that time you're tired, and then you retire, and then you can start living your life. And if there is a God, that's not what he intended for us. We've trapped ourselves in this strange prison of being civilized and needing money, just a made up thing to live, and we have everything that we need. So, I could go on and on, but I think you get it.
I got it. All right, so we've got you on vocals and guitar, and Jeremy, you brought your bass with a little amp. Yep. So we are going to hook that up, and we'll get that going. So
Slap on the bass.
Oh, and Jeremy, Don't Ask was actually the riff was started years ago.
Oh yeah, that's
Jeremy. Right. He wrote the
nice.
bass riff, then I came up with the guitar too.
Very cool. That's awesome.
But I changed it, so don't expect.
No writing credits for you then.
It wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for your real
right.
riff. So.
I appreciate the shout out.
I'll give you
That's
royalties.
awesome. I appreciate it. All right. Thank you guys for being on the podcast. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, man, it was a good time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This song is called Long Way Down. So long. all. Lord, let me walk before I fall. It's too late, we've yet to turn things around. We left our faces on the ground. These empty spaces holding on to pretty places as I tug the water out of my mind. Before my thoughts waste away to nothing, lost so easily, lost so easily. Before my thoughts waste away to nothing, lost so easily, and we fall down. Never again, 'cause it's a long way down, long way down. It's a long way.
Yeah. That was awesome. Love it.
Thanks, Leanne.
This song is called Don't Ask. Crack down, fall in line. Shut up and put in your time. You'll live when you can retire. Wake up, clear out your mind. Pause everything and be fine. Start living after the grind. But don't ask where all the time's gone. No recourse inside, no praises for all I have done. Conform, kiss her goodbye. Spend time with those you despise. Selling yourself for a dime. Locked up, trapped for pretend. Arrest our joy to defend. Illusions through to the end. Don't ask where all the time gone. No recourse inside, no praises for all I have done. Don't ask where all the time